In the news tonight, InterCaribbean Airways partners with Barbados in its We Gatherin and Carifesta push. Government makes repairs of the Melvin Hill Bridge a top priority. Guyana declares readiness for the September 1st general elections. And in sports, Harrison College posts a challenging first innings score against Lodge in the under-15 final.
The headline news is brought to you by Carifesta 15 in Barbados from August 22nd to August 31st. Caribbean Roots, Global Excellence.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you for tuning in. In our top story tonight, InterCaribbean Airways continues to broaden its partnership with Barbados. Today, history was created when the Spirit of Barbados InterCaribbean Airways aircraft was unveiled at the Granny Adams International Airport under the auspices of Barbados Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley. Anesta Henry has that story.
The aircraft Spirit of Barbados, owned by InterCaribbean, landed at the Granny Adams International Airport around 2 p.m., proudly displaying the national flag on its tail and the We Gatherin logo on the main body. Prime Minister Motley says that the airline continues to be a major source of connectivity from the northern and southern parts of the region.
Your presence is welcome. I'm told that there is an FBO arrangement that should be allowing you to see you build some hangar space on this airport, and it should start, I'm told, by you in early first quarter of next year, first quarter of 2026. And in fairness, because you had to take care of business to protect the aircraft in the Turks and Caicos from the hurricane season, Barbados being slightly outside of that path, Turks would have received the first thing, apart from the fact that you are from there.
PM Motley says government is looking forward to engaging in discussions regarding opening up Latin America, in particular northeastern Brazil.
Because that has significant implications for us, not just in terms of tourism, but also in terms of cargo, and in Barbados's ambition to become an agro-processing hub for the southern and eastern Caribbean and northern Latin America. Because we were the hub for the wrong reasons, as I keep saying, we must now become the hub for the right reasons. But we can't become a hub without instruments of transport.
In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, InterCaribbean Airways entered Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean islands. In December 2023, the Airways deepened its roots in Barbados by launching Flight Support Barbados Limited. What began with 70 employees has doubled to now employing over 140 Barbadians, creating meaningful careers and opportunities in aviation. Last February, InterCaribbean further extended its commitment by launching direct service between Barbados and Jamaica. Chairman of the Airways, Lyndon Gardiner, says the unveiling of branded aircraft symbolizes a deep and meaningful partnership flourished between the airline and Barbados over years of shared vision and mutual support.
We have invested significantly in our presence here because we believe in the vision that Prime Minister Motley and her government have articulated for this nation's future. We have worked throughout challenges together, finding solutions that honor our shared commitment to regional connectivity.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., Andrea Franklin, says at the end of the financial year ending March 2025, InterCaribbean Airways contributed just about 40% of available seats into Barbados from the region.
The debut of this specially branded aircraft provides a welcome level of heightened visibility for brand Barbados in this regard.
Members of the Barbados Cadet Corps participated in the unveiling ceremony. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Urgency is the word tonight in St. Joseph, where the collapse of a bridge at Melvin Hill has left residents cut off. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Transport and Works, Santia Bradshaw, says repairs are being treated as a top priority. Speaking to the media this afternoon alongside members of the Transport Authority and members of the Ministry of Transport and Works, Ms. Bradshaw said since the collapse last evening, the ministry has been working with engineers to carry out urgent assessments.
I give that assurance that this is not going to be neglected. Indeed, I'm actually asking the compliance team to try to come down on the timelines to make sure that we are able even to reduce the month that they have indicated to the AG this morning. And simply because I think that unlike any other district right now where we are doing these road works, it is clear that this artery in Melvin Hill Bridge is so critical to the commuters that I think if we have to pause something or slow down works in another location, that is a directive that I have given to our teams to make sure that all hands are on deck to get Melvin Hill Bridge reopened and to get the other projects in St. Joseph completed in short order.
The bridge serves as a vital link for commuters, and the Minister of Transport and Works says alternative roads are being explored and they're also considering a shuttle system.
We've also discussed with the Transport Board team, and I'll allow Ms. Boyce to speak to our Chief Operations Officer shortly, the whole concept of being able to do a shuttle, and we are exploring those possibilities with both the Transport Board and Transport Authority. And why? Because we recognize that even for us here this afternoon walking across the bridge, that there is still a rather long commute for persons who get off at one end of the bridge and have to walk to the other to then make their way into the neighboring communities.
Coming up, police have another homicide on their hands. One man has been killed and another is said to be seriously injured following an altercation at Parish Land in Christchurch. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old Ewing Ford. Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer, Acting Inspector Ryan Brathwaite, says the incident occurred about 1:50 this afternoon. He adds that preliminary investigations reveal there was a dispute involving the two men, which resulted in one receiving fatal stab wounds. A person of interest is assisting police with their investigations, and anyone who is asked that would be anyone with information is asked to contact the District B Police Station at 430, that is. So use this number, 430-7525. Two charities today did their civic duty in getting some of the nation's children back to school. Those charities are the Faith Marshall Harris Sandy Lane Charitable Trust Helpline and the Fishers of Men Charity. Rachel Agard has those details.
Child rights advocate Faith Marshall Harris says each year they are provided with a list of children in need who they try to assist in a number of ways. One of those ways is preparing them to enter school for the start of the academic school year through the Faith Marshall Harris Sandy Lane Charitable Trust Child Helpline, of which she is the founder and director.
These children are not what you would call your run-of-the-mill at-risk or in-need children. These are children who have had traumatic events in their lives. This year, unfortunately, I have a few who lost fathers, either in terms of death or in terms of the fact that the father is now in prison. So he's not there to give assistance. We have some situations too, unfortunately, where mothers have abandoned the child and they're being raised by father alone or by grandparents. And these grandparents quite often are themselves living on pensions alone.
Sharon Bellamy Thompson of the Fishers of Men charity recalls when she was a child, her mother needed help getting her back to school. She says it is her love for children that keeps her contributing to the cause she has supported for the last decade.
I believe that every child, every year, should go into school with at least a new set of school clothes. But I have been doing charity work for many years, so I go into a lot of homes and the majority of the homes, they have 5, 6, 7, and 8 children, and I know their situation, and I make sure every year that they will go into school, not to not make little kids laugh at them because, when it doesn't have school clothes at the first day, children doesn't understand, but put pressure on other kids.
Meanwhile, head of ABEDS, Eddie Abed, says the back-to-school drive is a necessary part of what they do. He says year after year, they do their part to assist parents with getting their children prepared for the school year ahead.
There are many people like Faith Marshall-Harris, Sharon Bellamy, many organizations we deal with that want to assist those going to school, and we play our part, we participate, we assist them with further discounts. So I'm pleased about it, but regrettably, it keeps growing year after year, the level of need. And I just don't see it slowing down, unfortunately.
Students from nursery to secondary schools are the beneficiaries of the back-to-school drive. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
With the start of the 2025-2026 academic year just a few weeks away, schools are in a state of readiness with several under repair. Chief Education Officer Dr. Ramona Archer Bradshaw says teams are on the ground ensuring all systems are go for when the students and teachers walk through the gates on September 8th.
We're getting ready. I've had some discussion with the permanent secretary and the director of the Education Technical Management Unit, and they have both given me the assurance that the schools will be ready by the time that the students and the teachers and other members of staff are ready to go in. So I know that the teams are working around the clock to make sure that all of the changes that need to be made are being made, so that our students and teachers and other members of staff can be comfortable on the return.
Meanwhile, Barbadians will know the winners of this year's Barbados scholarships and exhibitions soon. Dr. Archer Bradshaw says the Ministry of Educational Transformation has received the results of Students' Caribbean Examinations Council and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations. Ministry officials have been reviewing and verifying the information and are now compiling a report on those eligible for scholarships and exhibitions. The Chief Education Officer also revealed the country will also soon hear about the students' overall performance in this year's CXC and CAPE exams.
We will be guided by our Minister of Education when it comes to the release, because you know that these the scholarship winners, they have to go to cabinet to be ratified, so we have to go through that process. So as soon as we are able to have that information in hand, we'll be able to tell you as the media when we'll be able to have that press conference.
The Babs Reading Clinic has closed its 2025 summer session, celebrating the achievements of over 130 boys. The ceremony, held at the Barbados Community College, brought together sponsors, parents and supporters, all united around one goal: strengthening literacy. Deanza Roberts has those details.
The message was clear at the graduation ceremony. Literacy is power, and all hands need to be on deck. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs Kirk Humphrey called it one of the most important graduations he has attended, and used the opportunity to issue a call to fathers to be more involved in their children's lives.
Just last month we were in Chicago. We went to Chicago to study crime prevention strategies that they have that we could potentially implement in Barbados. And for the crime that they are dealing with, they have a lot of gun violence in Chicago, but they brought it down by 41%. And how did they do that? They did it, before how they did it, what they realized is that just like in Barbados, the men are not present in the lives of their sons. And so the first point I want to make is to the men and to the women. Men, you have to be present in the lives of your sons. And you have to not only be present, but you have to be a positive influence. And the ladies have to allow the men to be present and to be a positive influence in the lives of their children. That's probably the most important part.
Principal of the Barbados Community College, Anna Allen, urged the students to continue reading. Through the program, she says, they have dedicated the time to explore and to discover new ideas.
Over the past few weeks, I believe that by reading, you have also unlocked the world of adventure, knowledge, and opportunity. And I myself, as a child, I love to read. I'd read anything at all. And from reading, I understood how different people lived. I was able to travel in my mind. I was able to imagine. And that is a gift. Reading is a gift, and I'm hoping that all of you would be able to utilize that. And you young men have demonstrated a willingness to explore, a curiosity to learn, and a commitment to improving that will serve you well throughout your lives.
Founder Dr. Ashtabab is concerned that after years in the education system, many children leave not knowing how to read.
There are too many typical children who are leaving school unable to read. And by that I mean too many children with no learning challenges. They were not diagnosed as having anything wrong with them. I believe it is time for parents and personnel from the Ministry of Education to examine why so many of our children cannot read. There are boys in this reading clinic who scored 19 for mathematics and 19 for English in the common entrance exam after spending 7 years at primary school.
The 5-week program ended on a high note, with boys affirming their success and parents applauding their progress. The Babs Reading Clinic continued to grow each year, providing boys with the tools to read, to dream, and to achieve. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Well, Damien Best is here with all the sports details. Good evening, Damien.
Yeah, good evening to you, Lisa. Good evening to all viewers and listeners. Let's start with this one. The captains led from the front as Harrison College and Milo Lodge battled hard on the opening day of the Student Revolving Loan Fund BCA Schools Under 15 3-day final. Winning the toss and batting at Kensington Oval, HC were bowled out for 194 in 71.5 overs just before the close. Skipper Javion Batson hit 92, inclusive of 11 fours and 4 sixes, while Franklin Durant added 35 with 4 fours. Shonico Sargent led the bowling with 4 for 38, while Lodge captain Liam Seeley took 4 for 50. Let's watch.
Well, that's gone a long way. And that's very well played through mid-on. You don't run for that, Mr. Batson.
That's through the gap. And it's timed sweetly.
And was very, very good in terms of his execution.
And no chance for the shot. And this has been a very good knock from Batson. And he raises the bat. And it has been a very good half-century being there with the captain. This is in the air. And it's taken.
Pretty much in no man's land.
My. There was a chance for the catch, but still setting. Chance for the catch, and it's taken.
Hines and 2 from Jordan, who's very much on strike.
That's gone. Definitely what they would have been hoping for at the start of play as a wicket. Franklin, it's the big wicket of Franklin and Toppin's back.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. Immediately, he strikes. Bowled him. Seeley pick up another. He can. Back-to-back wickets for Liam Seeley. Bowls him. Magnificent. Being a more experienced man, but he goes.
But you want to see the back of this last wicket pair.
Bowled him. And that's the end of the innings. Harrison College, 194.
Barbadian sprint hurdler Maya Rollins has qualified for the final of the women's 100-meter hurdles at the Junior Pan American Games in Paraguay. Competing in semi-final number 1 today, Rollins was third in the faster of the two heats. She clocked 13.42 seconds. She was an automatic qualifier for the final, running the 4th fastest time overall. The winner of her semi-final was Cuba's Jocelyn Echeval in a new Junior Games record of 12.95, beating the old mark of 13.07. Second was Jamaica's Brianna Campbell in 13.37. The final is set for tomorrow. Meanwhile, Ross Walron has made it to the final of the men's 400 meters. He was one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers, placing 4th in semi-final 1 in a time of 46.99 seconds. Well, Barbados men have advanced to the quarterfinals of the Caribbean Volleyball Championship in the Bahamas. They bounced back strongly from yesterday's defeat, beating rivals Trinidad and Tobago in today's final group match. Barbados have ended the group competition with a 2-1 record after they swept Trinidad and Tobago 3-0 as 35-33, 27-25, 25-22. Barbados men have retaken the lead in Group B, but the undefeated Curacao, who got over Barbados yesterday, have a game in hand against bottom place Guadeloupe. Barbados will either go forward as the number 1 or number 2 seeds from that group. Meanwhile, Barbados women remained in playoff contention, staying tops of Group C after this evening's win over Suriname, 25-23, 25-16, 25-19.
The Business Report, brought to you by the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, a department of the Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment, supporting young entrepreneurs from idea to enterprise.
From textiles to art to food, cohorts of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme rubbed shoulders with a cross-section of businesses and managers during a recent hands-on field tour of the Hayman's Market in St. Peter. From recent startups to experienced enterprises, youth enterprise officers and YES officials called it a fulfilling day as they were outdoors for the final stages of the 2025 summer camp. Trevor Thorpe was at the Hayman's Market.
Business choices were almost limitless as the cohorts traversed the sprawling, historic former sugar plantation. Canvases, prints and art techniques got their attention as they familiarized themselves with the new outdoor surroundings. But it was Untamed, a new pepper sauce recently added to the local market that got early interest of the visitors. Creator and manager Marcus Aline revealed its composition of 6 flavors.
It's a tomato base. It has roasted aromatics, then a 3 peppers smoked over applewood. I also have this one. This one I made for people who can't handle heat as much. This one is the sweet chili, hot intentions. It has dark rum, going back with Barbados theme. It has dark rum, it has Bajan cherries, then it's simmered with pineapple, cinnamon, and bay leaf. Right. Then these two, these are my 2 new ones. These are also my hottest ones. The reason for this size is because the ingredients are a bit hard to get on the island. But this one is more of my herby sauce, unbeknownst. It has, this one is the chimichurri, spicy chimichurri. It has different things like oregano, parsley, but it also has ghost peppers.
Camp Director Celia Callamore tells the YES Business Report field trips and tours have always aroused greater interest among the YES clients and should set the tone for their business presentations this week.
More insight. Sometimes when you are in their faces all the time and you're preaching certain things to them, they may not hear it from you, but when they hear from an outsider, someone who is also living it but hearing a different voice, I think those are the things that also help to connect. And one thing we do within all of our sessions, and even when we do the business tours, is to ask them, what is your takeaway? What resonated with you? Because we want that instant feedback. It isn't just to come into a space and gain information, but what did you learn that you can actually apply to your personal and professional life?
The facilitators have been doing an excellent job. The sessions have been interactive and the development is evident.
they're growing personally. They're able to build new relationships with the other students who are actually at the camp. So we're looking forward now to them preparing for the business presentations. They've learned the business model canvas, all the elements of business. They've been able to break down their business idea, come up with a business name, come up with a business mantra, and now they have an opportunity next week to go through the presentation skills, learning how to present, learning how to speak, since that they've also done the public speaking. And then at our closing ceremony, they have an opportunity to present their business idea to their family as well as to the team at Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme.
The camp director gave high praise for a new business partner, Republic Bank, whom she says added dimension to this year's activities.
Not only are they supporting the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, but they're also engaging with these students as well. An opportunity for them to come in and teach about financial management, money management, do activities with them. They're also, someone from Republic Bank is also going to be on the panel of judges when the students present next week. So we are so grateful to have Republic Bank on board, and it's exciting that they can also come in, see what we're doing, but able to add more. So not only this year, but we're also looking forward to continuing the relationship with them as well.
Business tours are an integral part of the annual Yes Summer Camp, and the camp director says they afford the cohorts the opportunity to connect with entrepreneurs to hear their successes and failures in business. Trevor Thorpe for the Yes Business Report.
Protecting policyholders and also maintaining confidence in Barbados insurance sector are the reasons behind the enforcement action taken by the Financial Services Commission against Equity Insurance Company Limited. The Commission says the action is to preserve stability across the insurance sector, and it follows recent examinations which had identified areas where Equity's internal systems, controls and governance required significant strengthening. Experienced restructuring professional Craig Waterman has been appointed manager to oversee the day-to-day operations and work closely with Equity staff to guide the company through the next phase. No new business will be written during this time of enhanced supervision, but policyholders and intermediaries may continue to conduct business.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Damien Best is back now with the second half in sports. So Damien, over to you.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Well, Barbados had to settle for fourth when the team competition was completed recently at the Caribaco Badminton Junior Championships. Playing in the bronze medal match at the Willie Gymnasium, Team Barbados lost to Jamaica 3-0. CBC's Anne-Margaret Boyce reports.
The bronze medal was on the line, and this first match, the mixed doubles, featured host Barbados back in your screen against Jamaica. The Bajans were Nathan King and Kimara Tull Williams doing battle with Amir McBean and Jade Ranger. Immediately this one was out of bounds by Barbados, and the Jamaicans continue to benefit. This time Tull Williams hits the shuttlecock into the net. Barbados were struggling, and on this occasion it was King who found the net after some powerful returns from McBean. Both teams were facing this challenge. Jamaica now unable to get it over the net. And the switch of ends didn't work for Barbados. This was the best rally of the match, but in the end, Jamaica prevailed to win 21-14, 21-11. To the singles action now, Barbadian Xavi Haynes versus Daniel Ford. From the get-go, the Bajan on the back foot. That's powerful from Ford. But Haynes had his moments as well, and this perhaps was the best one. Good rally before this, impressive. However, the Bajan could not get going, and Ford went on to be the winner, taking it 21-11, 21-16. Barbados also went on to lose the final singles, with Sahara Rafik going down 22-20, 21-17 to Jade Ranger. And more Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Yeah, thanks, Anmar. Well, the gold medal went to Trinidad and Tobago, who defeated Guadeloupe in the final 3-2. The singles element of the tournament is now on. Barbados crashed out of the 2025 CFU Under-14 Girls Challenge Series with a tough defeat to French Guyana today. playing in their final Tier 2 Group B match at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago this afternoon. The Barbados girls were beaten 5-0.
Toma holds her off, maintains possession well, sets up the cross. Still in there, bubbles around, and Zave eventually blasts it home on the line. And it's Tiffany to put it in there, and a tidy flick. Terrific invention there. Under pressure. Can't get it clear. I'm picking up the pieces. Here's Tiffany. Maybe they can here. Amito opens her body up. Excellent first touch. And that's the finish that we were looking for.
Well, Barbados now has another professional footballer. National striker Tajio James has signed for First Division club NK Varajdin in Croatia on a 3-year deal. The 21-year-old moved from Rush Soccer, a partner of the Croatian First Division team and the world's largest youth football club, on a free transfer.
Well, first, I just like to say I'm proud and incredibly grateful to sign my first professional contract. And, give thanks to first God and my family for always supporting me and making sure that my dreams come true no matter what. And then I'd like to thank, NK Varajdin and Rush Soccer for seeing the potential in me and giving me this wonderful opportunity to become a pro and helping me along the way, I want to thank the coaches, my mentors, my teammates who all stood beside me and guided me along the way, never giving up on me and just helping me to achieve my dream.
Well, James has made 15 appearances and scored 5 goals for Barbados senior men's national team. Well, big news for sports and video game fans as the two worlds merge in an effort to introduce road tennis to the digital space. CBC's Anne Margaret Boyce has the details.
Taking inspiration from their previous scoring software Courtside, Innovation Cluster, a group of young creatives led by Rivelino Simmons, continue to make waves with their new game, Fantasy Road Tennis, in hopes of fostering and developing the growth of the island's only indigenous sport. The head developer, Nathan Agard, says the group has found a way to use the thrill of competition as an avenue for retaining data on players and matches.
Data is the name of the game. So all of the major sports, around the globe are driven and powered by data, especially in this age nowadays. So by developing the fantasy game for road tennis, we can use that as an avenue to be able to build data on the matches that are being played as well as the players as well. So we can build up that data-driven space.
The game will utilize a leaderboard system where participants are ranked locally and regionally, depending on points they've accumulated. Agard further explains the mechanics of the game.
When people sign into the actual game itself, you will see a few pages. You can see pages where we have all the players, as well as where we have all the fixtures as well too. So you can go and see all of the games that are coming out right now. If you actually log into the game right now at fantasyroadtennis.com, you can see all of the official upcoming games. So when you look at each game, you're able to make a prediction. You're able to see where the game is being played, who's playing who, and just what date the game itself is going to be as well too. So in order to play the game, you would go and make a prediction. So you can make a prediction on who is going to be the winner of the game itself. Further to that, you can make a prediction on what the final score is going to be as well.
The recently launched game is currently available for free at www.fantasyroadtennis.com with incentives in place from the round of 32. The developers are currently promising further improvements to the game with the inclusion of artificial intelligence. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, CBC Sports.
And that's our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.